Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Sri Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is June 4th, 2026. We're reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 10, the Lord's return to Jagannath Puri. So we've been reading about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. We read that, so this chapter is mainly about different devotees coming from various parts of the country and joining with Sri Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So, one correction is that I went over Srila, because this detail was not clear to us from the purport and from the translations, if the devotees had already left and then they were coming slowly, or if their departure itself was delayed. So, from what it said in the verses, we thought that after the festival, they all just took permission from Sachimata and left. But apparently, they were still preparing to leave. They had decided that now they would all go to Jagannath Puri, but they were in preparation. So I went over Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Anubhashya commentary on Sri Caitanya Charitamrita. So there it is mentioned that the devotees were all in preparation of coming. And meanwhile, Paramananda Puri arrived there, and when he got news that Mahaprabhu is now back in Jagannath Puri from South India, then he just went right away, taking the Brahmana Kamalakanta Vipra, Kamalakanta with him. He went, and then we saw how when he arrived at Jagannath Puri, he met with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu fell on his lotus feet, and Paramananda Puri embraced Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu requested him to please stay in Jagannath Puri because he has a desire to stay with Paramananda Puri. And Paramananda Puri said, "It is I who have the desire to see you, to be in your association. That's why I walked all the way from Bengal, because I thought that if I came with all the other devotees, the devotees were getting delayed. Again, there when it said they were getting delayed, apparently they were still getting ready to leave. But Paramananda Puri came of course, he did say that the devotees are coming, but yeah. And so Mahaprabhu arranged for Paramananda Puri stay in the same house where Mahaprabhu was staying. He was staying in Kashi Mishra's house. So in Kashi Mishra's bhavan, right, house, in another room, he gave another room to Paramananda Puri, not only a place to stay, but he also gave him a servant. Then after Paramananda Puri, next we read about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. The very next day, Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami arrived in Jagannath Puri. So then we started reading about the glory of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, how he was actually a very intimate friend of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami he was a very intimate friend of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, and also he was an ocean of rasa. So that's what we discussed yesterday. What is rasa and what does it mean to be an ocean of rasa? And also most confidential devotee. So that's what we read yesterday about Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. And also why his name is Svarūpa, because previously, so it is like this. In the, what do you say, sampradaya of actually, I'll just read it in Hindi. अगले दिन श्री स्वरूप दामोदर भी श्री जगन्नाथ पुरी में आ गए। वे महाप्रभु के अंतरंग भक्त और रस के सागर हैं। उनके पूर्वाश्रम का नाम पुरुषोत्तम आचार्य था और वे नवद्वीप में महाप्रभु की शरण में ही रहते थे। Means before he came to Jagannath Puri, he was already an associate of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu in Navadvip, and he used to be in the association of Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. जब महाप्रभु ने संन्यास ग्रहण किया तो वे भी संन्यास लेने के लिए उन्मत्त हो गए। When Mahaprabhu took sannyas, so Puruṣottama Ācārya was an associate of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu in Navadvip. And then Mahaprabhu took sannyas. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he could not stay in separation from Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He also took sannyas. संन्यास लेने के लिए उन्मत्त हो गए। तब उन्होंने भी वाराणसी में जाकर संन्यास ग्रहण किया। So this we will read today. But Svarūpa Dāmodara, so Anubhashya means this is the commentary by Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Svarūpa Dāmodara वैदिक दशनामी सन्यासियों में श्री शंकराचार्य के द्वारा प्रवर्तित जो विधि देखी जाती है वह इस प्रकार है। We read this actually in the purport, in the previous purport. Srila Prabhupada explained this. So Vedic Dashanami Sannyasi, that means according to Vedas there are 10 titles for sannyasis. So according to that, Shri Shankaracharya के द्वारा प्रवर्तित जो विधि देखी जाती है वह इस प्रकार है. So this is the system followed in the school of Shankaracharya. That means the Advaita school. तीर्थ और आश्रम इन दो उपाधियों वाले एक दंडी सन्यासी उनसे सन्यास ग्रहण वाले को पहले नैष्ठिक ब्रह्मचारियों के विधान अनुसार ब्रह्मचारी नाम प्रदान करते हैं. So when somebody wants to take sannyas in the line of Shankaracharya, that means in the Advaita school, if somebody wants to accept sannyas, first he is given brahmacharya. And that means he accepts that person, the candidate who wants to take sannyas, first he has to accept Naishtika Brahmacharya. So then पहले नैष्ठिक ब्रह्मचारियों के विधान अनुसार ब्रह्मचारी नाम प्रदान करते हैं. So and he will, it's like an initiation. He gets a brahmachari name before taking sannyas. That is the system. नवद्वीप वासी श्री पुरुषोत्तम आचार्य ने संन्यास से पहले ब्रह्मचारी नाम दामोदर स्वरूप प्राप्त किया. So what was his brahmachari name? So when he was in Navadvip, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. And when Puruṣottama Ācārya went to Kashi, Banaras, and accepted, he wanted to take sannyas. So first he accepted brahmachari title, brahmachari name. What was his name? Svarūpa Dāmodara. Actually, Damodar is the name and Svarūpa is the title, because he's aspiring to take sannyas from ashram or tirtha, one of these two. So there are different mathas, right? Different ashramas, mathas. So in each matha, a particular title of sannyas is given. So he was going to this matha where the title of tirtha or ashram would be given. So therefore the brahmachari title of that matha would be Svarūpa. So his name was Damodar and his title was Svarūpa. That was his brahmachari name. नवद्वीप वासी श्री पुरुषोत्तम आचार्य ने संन्यास से पहले ब्रह्मचारी नाम दामोदर स्वरूप प्राप्त किया. संन्यास का योग पट प्राप्त होने पर नैष्ठिक ब्रह्मचारी स्वरूप उपाधि के बदले तीर्थ संन्यास उपाधि प्राप्त होती है. So this is the general thing. Normally, after accepting sannyas, that title of brahmachari, instead of so that he will lose the title of brahmachari, now he will get the title of sannyasi. So what is the title of sannyasi? Tirtha or ashram. Maybe they get a different name also. Generally we see, right? In our Vaishnava sannyas also we see, when you get your first initiation, you get a name. But when you take sannyas, that name is also changed, isn't it? The name is also changed. And according to the particular ashram, where that means matha that you belong to, you get a particular title like Purī or Tirtha, Saraswati, Ashram, Bhāratī. These are all titles. And then you get your name before that. So Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami's name, brahmachari name was Damodar and his title was Svarūpa. However, he's a sannyasi. That's what we have to see. He's a sannyasi. So now let's continue reading. So we had read this previously. I'm just reading it again. Svarūpa is one of the names of brahmachari in Shankaracharya's disciplic succession. In the Vedic discipline, you'll see the same thing, whatever Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given. In the Vedic discipline, there are 10 names for sannyasis, and it is customary for a brahmachari assisting a sannyasi of the designation tirtha or ashrama to receive the title Svarūpa. Damodar Svarūpa was formerly a resident of Navadvip and his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. When he went to Vārāṇasī, he took sannyas from a sannyasi designated tirtha. Although he received the title Svarūpa in his brahmachari stage, he did not change his name when he took sannyas. Actually, as a sannyasi, he should have been called tirtha, but he chose to retain his original brahmachari title of Svarūpa. Then, Puruṣottama Ācārya Tara Nama Purvāshrame Navadvipe Chilateho Prabhura Charane. So this also we read yesterday. When Svarūpa Dāmodara was residing at Navadvip under the shelter of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. So it's clear, right? First he was Puruṣottama Ācārya in Navadvip. And then when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he also wanted to take sannyas. So he went to Vārāṇasī to take sannyas. But before taking sannyas, it is customary that one is given brahmacharya first, Naishtika brahmacharya, and he gets the title of a brahmachari. So he got the name Damodar Svarūpa. And after that, you take sannyas diksha. When you take sannyas diksha, the Svarūpa title goes away and you get the title of either tirtha or ashram, because he went to that particular matha. He would have gotten tirtha or ashram, and maybe even his name would have changed. But in case of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, that's why Goswami title you get for sannyasis. He's a sannyasi. However, he's retaining his brahmachari name. That's the thing you should note here. Puruṣottama Ācārya Tara Nama Purvashrame. In the previous ashrama, his name was Puruṣottama Ācārya. Navadvipe Chilateho Prabhura Charane. And in his Purvashram, he was at the lotus feet of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. He was an associate of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. Maybe he's a student of Mahaprabhu. I don't know. Prabhura sannyasa dekhi unmatta hoya sannyasa grahaṇa kaila Vārāṇasī giyā. Prabhura sannyasa dekhi unmatta hoya. Unmatta means mad ho jana. I mean, you know, he was in such separation from the Lord that he became like a madman. After Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he left. Prabhura sannyasa dekhi unmatta hoya. Unmatta hoya, he became just like a madman. Sannyasa grahaṇa kaila Vārāṇasī giyā. So how can you associate with the sannyasi if you are also normally, like if you want to go and be in the association of a sannyasi, either you're a brahmachari or you're a sannyasi. So he also went and accepted sannyas. After seeing that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu accepted the renounced order, Puruṣottama Ācārya became like a madman and immediately went to Vārāṇasī to take sannyas. Puruṣottama Ācārya. Caitanya. By the way, you know Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami is Lalita Sakhi. So you can imagine the separation. Caitanyānanda Guru Tara Agna Dilena Tare Vedanta Podiya Padao Samasta Lokere. Caitanyānanda. So who did he take his diksha from? Sannyas diksha from Puruṣottama Ācārya, who then became Svarūpa Dāmodara. Who did he take his diksha from? Sannyas diksha from? From Caitanyānanda. His guru's name was Caitanyānanda. Caitanyānanda Guru Tara Agna Dilena Tare. And then when you take initiation, you actually get an instruction from the spiritual master. You get an order from the spiritual master. What is the order that we get when we take diksha? Chant at least 16 rounds of the holy name every day. Follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And always remain faithful to Srila Prabhupada. And then devotees also say other things like, I will study Srila Prabhupada's books every day, like that. But the order that is given directly from the spiritual master, right, is this: chant at least 16 rounds and follow the 4 regulative principles. So here, what did the guru of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami give? What is the order he gave? The order he gave was Vedanta Podiya Podao Samasta Lokere. You study Vedanta yourself and then you teach all the people. That means the whole world. You teach them Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Vedanta is the essence of the Vedas. Vedanta is the essence of the Vedas, yes. And Srila Vyasadeva has given the Vedānta-sūtras. So the essence of the Vedas is the Upanishads, and the essence of the Upanishads is Vedānta-sūtra. So Vedānta-sūtra, it's the essence of all the Vedas, right? Final essence of all the Vedas given in the form of sutras. Sutras means short phrases. But there is so much inside that. That's why it is sutra. Sutra means in few words, a lot is said in just few words, like a capsule. So that has to be decoded. Otherwise, people won't understand. And being Vedānta-sūtra, it will be in Vedic language, which is very complex. So it is not understandable. And that Vedānta-sūtras have to be explained. Commentaries should be given. But there is also the problem there that people can give their own commentaries. Sanskrit language is such that one word has so many meanings. You can derive so many meanings. So like that, and not just one word, one shabda, sound, like you say, that can be said in 18 different ways, and there are 18 different meanings for that . Now imagine when you join ka, and then, and then, or ga, different letters, and like that, so many alphabets coming together, joining together, making words. How many different ways it can be explained? So many meanings can come. So therefore, there is that liberty to give your own explanation to the Vedānta-sūtra. And we have commentaries given by, actually, to be a bona fide sampradaya, you have to give your own commentary on the Vedānta-sūtra. So therefore, our 4 Vaishnava sampradayas, bona fide Vaishnava sampradayas, Brahma sampradaya, Rudra sampradaya, and Sri sampradaya, Kumara sampradaya. These are the 4 bona fide Vaishnava sampradayas. Each one of them has its own commentary on the Vedānta-sūtras. And in addition to these 4 Vaishnava sampradayas, we also have Shripad Shankaracharya's Advaita, succession, parampara. So in that also, they also have their own commentary on Vedānta-sūtra. And each one of them has its philosophy. So what is our philosophy? And within the Brahma Sampradaya also, ours is the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Because under one Guru, Acharya, there can be different branches. And in that, again, there can be different branches. So we belong to the branch of, within Brahma Sampradaya also, we belong to the branch of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Gaudiya. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu coming from Madhvacharya, who is also in the line of Lord Brahma. That's why Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. That's our Sampradaya. So, because prior to Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, actually you want to be even more specific, prior to Srila Madhavendra Purī. Within Brahma Sampradaya only, but Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu's Guru is Ishvara Puri, Ishvara Puri's Guru is Srila Madhavendra Puri. Before Madhavendra Puri, there was no worship of Radha Krishna. They were worshipping only Krishna. And that also not in Madhurya. Obviously, when you worship Krishna in Madhurya Bhava, Madhurya Rasa, there has to be Srimati Radharani and Gopis. Of course, you can worship Rukmini Krishna, Rukmini Dwarkadhish. That's possible. But we don't see that. Prominently, we don't see that. So worship of Srimati Radharani only started from Madhavendra Puri. So then there was a challenge. Where is this said? You have to present your philosophy. Based on what philosophy are you following, practicing your bhakti? What is the authenticity of your sampradaya, the type of worship that you're doing? Where is your commentary on Vedānta-sūtra? Gaudiya Vaishnavas, where is your commentary on Vedānta-sūtra? So there was no commentary. Then Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan gave the commentary called Govinda Bhashya, because Lord Govinda personally dictated that commentary to Baladev Vidyabhushan. So now the Gaudiya Vaishnavas also have a commentary on the Vedānta-sūtra called Govinda Bhashya. But the reason why the Gaudiya Vaishnavas did not have a commentary on the Vedānta-sūtras is because the Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary of the Vedānta-sūtras. What is natural commentary? Natural commentary means the author of a book is himself giving the commentary of his book. The author knows best the contents of what he has given. So he has given the Vedānta-sūtra. Vedānta-sūtra is called the Kapola Kalpita of Srila Vyasadeva. Kapola Kalpita means it is his work, his creation. Yes. The Vedas are not created. The Vedas are eternally existing. Vedas are eternally existing. And in Vedas, you know, you have 5 Vedas. You have Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, and Purana Itihasas, Panchama Veda. Totally you have 5. And within Purana Itihasas, in Puranas, there are 18 Puranas. 6 Satvika, 6 Rajasika, and 6 Tamasika. And then you have, in Itihasas, you have Mahabharat, Ramayana, like that. So, this is Vedas. This is eternally existing. The Vedas, and Vedas means 5 Vedas. Now, from the Vedas only, based on the Vedas, we have 6 philosophies, 6 darshanas, based on the Vedas. That's why they are not atheistic, they are theistic. However, that means, you know, the author is reading the Vedānta-sūtra, I mean the Vedas, and he's coming up with his own conclusion. He's deriving his conclusion about what is the goal of life from his understanding. He is seeing that from the Vedas, this is the goal of life. So you have different philosophies, 6 philosophies, 6 darshanas they are called from Vedas. Gautama, Kanada, then you have Vaisheshika philosophy, then you have Nyaya, so these are given by Gautama Kanada, then you have Yoga Sutras given by Patanjali, then Kapila has given the Sankhya philosophy, and then you have the Mimamsa philosophy given by Jaimini, and the 6th one is the Vedānta-sūtras philosophy, Vedanta philosophy given by Vyasadeva. These are the 6 darshanas. So, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, then Yoga Sutras by Patanjali, then Sankhya philosophy by Kapila, Mimamsa philosophy by Jaimini, and 6th one is Vyasadeva has given us the Vedānta-sūtras. What I am trying to say is, these are the 6 darshanas, 6 philosophies that are based on the Vedas, but which one is the best of the 6? Vyasadeva has completely defeated the others in his Vedānta-sūtra. These philosophies are derived from the Vedas by their respective proponents. Nyaya by Gautama, he has given the Nyaya philosophy from the Vedas. Atyantika dukkha nivritti. What is the goal of life? Atyantika dukkha nivritti. Just how do you say? Countering, right? Countering the miseries of life. This is the goal of life. You have to fight all the time, and you have to overcome the miseries. This is the goal of life. But Our philosophy is not just Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti, Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti plus Atyantika Sukha Prapti. Simply mitigating miseries is not enough. Mitigating miseries, and after that, actually gaining happiness. Now again, Sukha Prapti can be explained. Jaimini will say Sukha Prapti means, work is worship, you do your dharma, and by doing your dharma, artha, kama, that's all. You do dharma according to Shastra, live morally, you earn, and you enjoy whatever you earn. There's nothing wrong, and that's the goal of life. Live according to dharma, you earn, and then you enjoy life. This is one philosophy. And then, you have to, so you go higher and higher. So Kapila means you're actually understanding what is, you're seeing the difference between matter and spirit by studying the elements. You go down to, so you look at matter and you study what is this, everything, whatever you're seeing in this world, your body, my body, this world, everything, how it is functioning. What is it made of? Ultimately, it is made of these 28 elements, not 24 elements. And then there is also Purusha. So sometimes 26 is said, sometimes 24 is said, sometimes 28 is said. So this is one philosophy. Okay. And then this is not the philosophy given by Kapil Bhagwan in Bhagavatam. Not that. And then you have so Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti and Atyantika Sukha Prapti, like that. So simply mitigating miseries is not all. After mitigating miseries, you have to get pleasure, because Anandamayo Bhyasat, the living entity is seeking Ananda, pleasure. Then what is the highest Ananda? There is one type of pleasure you get from, material pleasures. By bhoga, by enjoying material things, you get one pleasure. But higher than that is liberation. But even higher than that is love of Godhead. All this is Ananda, but there is a gradation. The highest Ananda is by doing bhakti, the Ananda that you get. That is the highest Ananda. So, Atyantika Sukha Prapti, what is the highest type of happiness you can get? That you can get by doing devotional service. So, Srila Vyasadeva has given us Vedānta-sūtras. I'm telling you, Vedanta, the way the other philosophers, the remaining 5 philosophers have given their own philosophies from Vedas, Srila Vyasadeva has given the essence of the Vedas. By the way, who gave the Vedas? Vedas are eternally existing. But how did they come? Vyasadeva has given these Vedas in a written form, isn't it? Vyasa means one who divides. So the original Veda was in one form. That Veda Vyasadeva has divided into 5 to make it simple for the people of Kali Yuga. At the end of Dwapar Yuga, Vyasadeva has divided the one Veda into 5 based on the mantras that, there's a close connection between the Vedas and the sacrifices. So when you perform sacrifice, there are 4 priests sitting on 4 sides. So based on the mantras that are recited by each priest, he has divided the one Veda into 4 Vedas, and then all the stories, itihasas, histories, he put in another group called Purana Itihasas. In this way, he has divided one Veda into 5 Vedas. This was Vyasadeva's contribution only. And the same Vyasadeva is now giving Vedānta-sūtra. That means the essence of all this he's giving in the form of Vedānta-sūtra. But this Vedānta-sūtra is Vyasadeva's creation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The way the remaining 5 philosophers have given their own philosophies from Vedas, Vyasadeva has given what is his contribution from his side, Of course, he has divided the one Veda into 5, but that is already existing. He has extracted the essence of the Vedas and given it in the form of Vedānta-sūtras. This is the essence of the essence. However, for one to understand what it's in cryptic form, for one to understand this, it needs explanation. So, as I said earlier, each Vaishnava Sampradaya has given its own explanation or commentary on this Vedānta-sūtra, because this Vedānta-sūtra is also established as the highest of the 6 philosophies. Vyasadeva himself has disproved, has shown that this philosophy, a Vedanta philosophy, is the best. Within his Vedānta-sūtras, he has established that. Besides, who is Vyasadeva? Vyasadeva is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He is the one who has given the Vedas. Who can know the Vedas better than Vyasadeva? Even from the author's perspective, why his work is the best of the 6 philosophies? Why his is the best? Because he is the incarnation of the Lord and he is the giver of the Vedas. He knows the Veda in entirety. Even Brahmaji does not have the entire Veda with him. Brahmaji has only as much as he needs to run his particular universe. And some Brahmajis have many heads. That means he has a big universe, so he needs more Veda. More shlokas are there. Some Brahmajis receives, let's say one Brahmaji has 10,000 heads. That means his universe is that big, so he needs that much Veda, so he gets more. Our Brahmaji has only 4 heads, so it's a small universe. He needs less Veda, fewer verses. But Vyasadeva has all the Veda. And that Vyasadeva is giving the Vedānta-sūtra. So his work is the best, isn't it? And from all the Vedas he's giving, this is the essence of all the Vedas. He's given in the form of Vedānta-sūtra. So therefore, of the 6 philosophies, which is the best? Vyasadeva's philosophy is the best. This work has been done by our genius Acharya Srila Jiva Goswami. He is establishing what is the highest authority. If you want to know something, what is the topmost authority? Systematically he goes. So now he has established Vedānta-sūtra as the highest. But then on the Vedānta-sūtra also you have different commentaries. Which one should we accept? Shankaracharya has also given commentary on Vedānta-sūtra. Then Vaishnavas have also given commentary on Vedānta-sūtra. Which one should we accept? Then he said, because Vyasadeva himself has given commentary on his Vedānta-sūtra, which is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, this is the best. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is the highest authority. That's how he establishes that. So, and that's the reason why our Acharyas didn't give a commentary on Vedānta-sūtras before. Because we accepted Vyasadeva's commentary, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, as the highest. So there was no need to give another commentary. Otherwise, could Srila Jiva Goswami, couldn't he have given a commentary? So much is given. But on Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, they've given so many commentaries. We have Srila Sanatana Goswami's commentary, right? We have so many commentaries on the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam by our Vaishnava Acharyas, Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. But they did not give on Vedānta-sūtras directly. You understand? Why? Because this is also etiquette, you know. We see this in Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur and Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami and other Acharyas also. Srila Lochan Das Thakur. They've given us the life of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, life history of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, activities of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. And in that, you will see if one Acharya has already given, let's take the example of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. He gave us Chaitanya Bhagavat. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, the early pastimes of Mahaprabhu, Navadvip pastimes of Mahaprabhu, are given in much detail. So a later Acharya, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he begins to write his book, he does not want to repeat what was already said by the previous Acharya. Why? That credit should be given to that Acharya. And he directs the readers, please go and read Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat for this information. He gives what was not already covered. He just mentions it again in sutra form. In one line, he will say, this pastime has happened. But if you want to know the details of this pastime, please go and refer to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat. Like that, he will say. But things which were not covered by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Now, why Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur didn't cover? He didn't know or what? No, because the book would become too bulky. So he didn't go, he didn't explain the philosophy so much. Although, see, there is no difference between book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat. That means if you write about a Bhagavata's life, it cannot be without philosophy. It is philosophy only. That is why if you simply read, if you study the life of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, that's the best philosophy. But you should know that you will get, we will be able to understand if we know the Gaudiya Vaishnava principles, if you know the tenets, the building blocks of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, then when you read, whether you read Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, whether you read Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat, you read Bhagavad Gita, you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you will see those principles everywhere. There won't be any break anywhere. You will see, like a, everything is connecting. One thing is connecting to the other. You'll be able to see that. Just like you have words and stories, but they're made of what? Alphabets. So if you know your 26 alphabets, then any word, any story you read, you'll be seeing those alphabets everywhere, isn't it? Like that. So even though you read it as a story, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Śrī Caitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, even though you're reading it as a story, actually it is filled with philosophy. You can bring out those philosophical points in those stories, in those dealings. You can actually see the Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta simply in the dealings and pastimes of Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur did not go into details of the philosophy per se, although, as I said, you cannot separate philosophy. So here you will definitely see. And that's why when you read the commentary on Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there will be so much philosophy. Even though it appears like a story, from those verses, so much purport, commentary is given by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has given it in a story form. But when you come to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he gives a lot of philosophy. Like he himself, not that he's giving in a story form and then the later Acharya is explaining it. He himself also explains, as we are reading, philosophy. He focuses on that. Conversation between Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Svarūpa Dāmodara, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, full of philosophy. Conversation between Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Ramananda Rai, full of philosophy. Conversation between Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu and Rupa Goswami. Conversation between Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, Sanatan Goswami. Lots of philosophy. That means he is covering those points which were not covered by previous Acharya. And things which were already said by previous Acharya, he won't repeat it. Why? To give honor to that Acharya. He has already done. Why? What is the need to repeat? You understand? This is Vaishnava etiquette. So similarly, Srila Vyasadeva himself has given the commentary on Vedānta-sūtra in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the topmost. Nothing is about Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the need to give another commentary on Vedānta-sūtra? So our Vaishnava Acharyas, they didn't bother to give a commentary on Vedānta-sūtra of Vyasadeva. Because Vyasadeva himself has given Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the commentary on Vedānta-sūtra. So now they commented on Vyasadev's Srimad Bhagavatam. They've given so many commentaries. Srimad Bhagavatam is like a, like a gem, like a jewel, or you can say like a, from different angles, you see different colors, like a peacock feather. So you tilt it in different ways and you see different colors. Like that, Srimad Bhagavatam has the scope to be explained in so many different ways. Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Lord Sri Krishna. So Srimad Bhagavatam can be explained. So many qualities, glories of Srimad Bhagavatam can be illuminated by different acharyas, different Vaishnavas, according to their particular, bhava, realizations. And all that is bona fide. It's not like somebody writes stories in this world, imagining. It's not imagination. These are all reality, realizations of a pure devotee, because they are not on the material platform anymore. They're all transcendental. And each one is giving a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost. So what is the need to give another commentary on Vedānta-sūtra? There's no need. This is the topmost. It is established already. So on that Srimad Bhagavatam, they give commentary. There's no need to give any other commentary. So why we are discussing this now? How did we get here? Let me go back and see. Acha, we were reading this, I think. Caitanya, that's right. Vedanta padiya padao samasta lokere. So this is the instruction that Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami received from his guru, Caitanyānanda. What is the instruction he received? You study Vedanta and you teach Vedanta to everyone, to all the people. You teach Vedanta. So I was explaining to you what is Vedanta. That's why all this story. Okay. So Vedanta. So Vedanta means what? Srimad Bhagavatam is the commentary on Vedanta. Vedanta is in the form of sutras. So if you are preaching Srimad Bhagavatam, you are preaching Vedanta. That's the point. So the instruction given by the guru of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami, the order that he received at the time of initiation is, you study Vedanta. This is the instruction they give to in the Advaita school. When you take sannyas, you are expected to study Vedanta. However, they have their own commentary called the Sharīraka Bhāshya. So that is, of course, a Mayavad philosophy. So that's the problem. So here he said, study Vedanta. So Vedanta means, even Srimad Bhagavatam is Vedanta only. So Vedanta podiya padao samasta lokere. You study Vedanta and you teach everyone. This was the order he received from his guru. At the conclusion of his sannyas, his spiritual master Caitanyānanda Bhāratī. Acha, he's a Bharati. Okay. His guru Caitanyānanda Bhāratī ordered him, read the Vedānta-sūtra and teach it to all others. Parama virakta teho parama pandita kāya-mane āśrīya che śrī-kṛṣṇa-carita. Parama virakta teho parama pandita. So who are we talking about? The guru or the disciple? So we are talking about the disciple, Srila Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. Parama virakta. Virakta means detached. Extremely, supremely detached. Parama virakta. Teho parama pandita. And also extremely learned. He is supremely detached and supremely learned. If you are a devotee, if you are a great devotee, naturally you will become supremely detached and supremely learned. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha. So one who is performing Bhakti Yoga, as a side, what is the real result of Bhakti Yoga? The real result of Bhakti Yoga is Bhagavat Prapti, Krishna Prema. And because of that Krishna Prema, now Krishna will be going after you all the time. Because you have that prema in your heart, he becomes attracted to you. Śrī-kṛṣṇa ākarshini. This prema bhakti is Śrī-kṛṣṇa ākarshini. It attracts Krishna. So the goal of bhakti yoga is to get that prema. By that prema now Krishna is attracted. You get Bhagavad Prapti. Bhagavad Sakshatkar you will get. That is the real goal. However, by practicing bhakti yoga, you get side benefits also. What are they? These two. Parama Virakta and Parama Pandita. Vasudev Janayati Ashu. Janayati means Janam deta hai, produces. Ashu means very quickly. Because of this bhakti yoga very quickly produces what? Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Vairagyam means detachment. Parama Virakta. Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge, Pandita. What type of detachment? Detachment from anything other than devotional service. That means material things or liberation. You will become completely detached to all these things. And learned Pandita. What will you be knowledgeable in? Krishna, the spiritual world. Then also, of course, naturally, when you learn about Krishna, you'll also know about the temporary nature of this material world, how insignificant it is. That will also be known. All this you will get simply by doing bhakti. Automatically you will get detachment and knowledge you will get by practicing bhakti. So, and if you are a very advanced devotee, we already saw Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami is Rasa Sara, Rasa Sagara. He is an ocean of rasas. And rasa you will get in prema. That means he is such an advanced devotee. What advanced? He is an eternal associate of the Lord. And in that also, you know, amongst the gopis, Ashtasakis, who is the leader? Lalita Gopi. She is the leader. That is Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. So, naturally, right? Parama Virakta, Parama Pandita. kāya-mane Āśrīyache śrī-kṛṣṇa-carita. Kaya means sharir, body. Mana means mind. Āśrīyache. That means with his body and mind, he has taken shelter of śrī-kṛṣṇa-carita. That means he is constantly absorbed in the glories of Sri Krishna. Glories means his name, his form, his pastimes, his qualities. He is absorbed through his mind, through his body. He is engaged in Lord Sri Krishna. This is the position of Svarūpa Dāmodara Goswami. Svarūpa Dāmodara was a great renunciate as well as a great learned scholar. With heart and soul, he took shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Maybe we can stop here. It's already time. Thank you so much. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnava.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.